Hello, and welcome to Introduction to Business. I'm your Professor John Harvey, and congratulations on making it into week 2. I know it's always rough the first week, whether you get your textbook in time or you've got to deal with your financial aid, or there's attendance stuff that you get dropped from classes, and there's just always something going on in week 1. Generally, it's a pretty rough week, so I'm glad you guys are here. I'm glad you've made it through to week 2. So good job. So with week 1, we just did chapter 1, and this week we're doing just chapter 2. So trying to keep it light to make sure everyone kind of gets in and gets into the groove. But going forward, we'll have 2 chapters. That's kind of what we'll try and push for here. But I do have these weeks where I kind of do 1 chapter, so you're kind of can get your feet under you and get used to that. So you'll notice that week 1 material closed down. It's hidden, it's gone. Week 2 material now shows up, and that's kind of how this process is going to go. So hopefully you're familiar with that and it's not like a shock. But just be ready for that, because you don't want to try and wait till Tuesday night at midnight, right? Because the stuff disappears and it's gone, and then you're like, what? How did I, whatever? That's kind of how this works. So hopefully you'll fall into the groove of that, and it won't be much of a surprise there. So, all right, hey, I want to talk about the discussion board, because these factors of production are fascinating, and I love talking about those. But first, let's get you a discussion board award. That's right. So this discussion board was where I was looking through the discussion boards, and I was like, that's a great factor of production. Oh, that's another great factor of production. Oh, that's great. They were scattered all over the place. Like, you had some that were great, some that were fabulous, and then it all came together. And then I saw the links. I saw the hyperlinks, and I went, yes. The link award goes to Daniel. Daniel put in hyperlinks to his factors of production. So kudos, Daniel. Love it. When you include a hyperlink, I love seeing that stuff. It gives you references, it gives you credibility, it pulls the material in, it allows people to see stuff that you can reference. So love that stuff. So way to go, Daniel. Good stuff. So link award. Now, that being said, I did want to talk about the factors of production. So one of the things that I might have mentioned in a couple of the discussion board comments to you guys is that businesses will have all of these factors, right? In terms of, a business will have some sort of land, generally. Even Google has some sort of campus, right? They have several campuses. Labor, means you've got people in there. Capital, you've got like some form of equipment. Entrepreneurship, knowledge, all of these things are factors into a business. A business wouldn't get started without some form of entrepreneurship. It's just someone had it, right? But what's different is the factor of production is really that primary thing that makes that company stand out. Simply saying, you could look at it and say, where does a company get its money from, right? Where does it get revenue from? That's usually a good hint in terms of the factor of production, but it's not always the case. For example, I think like McDonald's has like some insane amount of land, right? So while they have labor, and they're always trying to hire people, and they've got to fire people, and there's always this kind of churn on that. One of the factors of production is that McDonald's does this great job about finding the right piece of land, and that location is very important to them in terms of the success of the business, but also that property itself becomes very, very valuable. So if they ever want to shut that part down, they've got a real asset there. So that's like a kind of a weird example, but it gives you an idea that I'm not saying that it's their primary factor of production. A better example would be, if we're talking land, you talk about a timber company. But my point is that these factors of production, every company has all of them, and it's some varying amount, right? So what you're looking for is the primary factor of production. What's the one thing that stands out? But also, if you're in a business or in a company, this is excuse me. This is a great question to ask yourself, right? What does the company that I work for, what is its factor of production, right? Is it knowledge? Is it, some sort of entrepreneurship? How is this going to work, going forward? What are the benefits? Where are they drawing their income from? So hopefully that gives you an idea, something to think about in terms of, some practical application of the material. Like I said, you guys came up with a lot of great examples. Now it's time to kind of turn it on and think about it, individually and locally and that kind of stuff. So, all right, guys, with that, have a great week. I look forward to your comments and your discussion board posts, and reach out if you have any questions, and we'll get started. All right, guys, have a great week.